What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. We've got some pictures that y'all have submitted. Real quick, don't forget that if you have something that you want to submit for lots of lots, bust up for sale, the picture videos, or any one of my videos in general, you can throw it in the video request form found in the description of any one of my videos. So the first one was submitted by Bus93. It's from Jared Grody on Flickr. We are taking a look at this Wayne Chevy C60. So as you can see, this was turned into some sort of tailgating bus because we have the Ravens decal on the side there. Most of the bus was painted black and the warning lights were also removed. And it appears on this bus that we have outward opening doors, which wasn't uncommon on Wayne's, but it also wasn't common. And I think the only other thing to point out is the giant turn signal that is right next to that Ravens logo. Next, we're taking a look at a T3FE that was submitted by Dominic, and the notes that were sent along with this said that this is 189. We were bought out in 2021 by Harlow's, which is why the bus is now numbered with an 8 at the beginning of the number. It's a 2017 T3FE with a Cummins 6.7 liter engine, 78 passengers, and all incandescent lights except for the rear right turn signal. The inside has a brown floor and brown seats. It is fully hydraulic and has an electric door. As already mentioned, this was bus 189, but it is now 8189 because it was bought out by a contractor. And Harlow's kind of focuses on the North and South Dakota, Montana, Idaho region. So they definitely have enough buses to justify changing the number, but I'm surprised that they didn't completely change the number. They just put one number in front of the existing number. The only other thing of note is that it says school bus on the side, almost kind of like Texas spec, but it doesn't appear that there's a district name there, just school bus on the side. The next picture was submitted by American. On the left, we have a 2009 EF, and on the right, we have a 2011 C2, and both of these are operated by STA in Griswold, Connecticut. Notice on the C2, we have an external PA. It's kind of weird that we have that on there, but not on the EF. Also, that C2 bumper is pretty rusty, and no real surprise with a New England bus, we have a black hood on that C2. It appears that both buses have fully incandescent lights and yellow roofs on them. Next up is this HDX that was submitted by Gerald. This is a Berkeley County activity bus based out of South Carolina. We have understorage on this bus as well as AC, and it appears that there is LED lights around the bus as well. Love seeing the green rub rails and bumper, definitely has a Haverstraw feel to it. I don't have too much to say about this. It's a really nice bus, and I can definitely appreciate activity buses like this. Next up was this picture that was submitted by Chris. We are taking a look at a Bluebird Vision. This comes from the contractor Peter Briga out of New York, and this contractor is on the list for stuff that I need to cover on lots of lots because they have a really different spec compared to the rest of New York. As you can see, there is a black belt on there, and this bus is definitely the offspring of a New York and Kentucky bus. Notice the blue Bluebird logo above the driver's window, which means that this is a gas bus. Full LED lights, dual stop signs, side emergency door, full streamer, white roof, crossing gate. This is a pretty sharp bus here. I think the only thing that I'm finding a little bit weird is the number next to the warning lights. I don't really like that, especially considering the bus next to it does not have that, so it's kind of a mix and match spec, it seems. But like I said, I've been meaning to cover this contractor for a while because they have a really interesting lot. Next up, we have a picture that was submitted by Steven of the bus lot, and the notes say from left to right, we are looking at a 2007, 13, 2005, two 2022s, a 2006, a 2022, and two 2021s. Apparently the first two Visions and All-American are retired now, and apparently at the time of this picture, the C2 was put in the out-of-service line. So the next picture was submitted anonymously. It comes from HV Photos on Flickr, and we are taking a look at this Transtech. Whoever submitted this said that they want to hear my opinions on this bus, and I've always kind of found Transtechs weird. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've never really been around Transtechs, and looking at the back, especially from this angle, the emergency exit just looks weird. I think it's just because it's that big panel of glass. The front roof cap, which you can't see in this picture, looks especially weird to me. I am glad to see that this bus has full LED on it, and that it does have a white roof considering this is in New York and that it's not complete blackout. But yeah, I've never really gone crazy over trans texts. Like I said, I just kind of find them a little bit weird. The next couple pictures come from Nathan, who said that the district was changing some of their specs on the buses. So take a look at this picture. Notice that we have low skirts on here, but now take a look at this picture, which is the same exact bus, and notice that it doesn't have that anymore. You can also see that in place of that, they added another rub rail at the bottom. Similarly, this bus originally had a yellow roof, but it was painted to a white roof, as we can see in this picture. And according to Nathan, that's because the district wanted to match the specs with their 2023s, which you can see again have white roofs in this picture. Removing the low skirts from those REs for seemingly no good reason seems like a lot of extra work that the district would be doing, so I'm not exactly sure why they would do that. And then to paint the white roofs to match with the new buses, again, that seems like a lot of work. I have no idea why they would do that, because who cares? I know I'm always talking about, oh, don't mix and match specs on, different buses, but if there's an old bus and a new bus that come in with different specs, that's totally different than a new bus and a new bus coming in with two completely different specs. I have no idea why they would, need to change any of this. That is, unless there was a new law passed or anything. Next up, we are taking a look at a 2018 Bluebird Vision that was submitted by Ben. I think most of you know by now that I love tinted windows and black window posts, and that extends over to Visions. This is definitely a really, really sharp bus. I would have liked to have seen LED lights on there, but incandescents still look fine. And quite honestly, I think that I would say that this is like what all Visions should start off as, and if you want to make any additions from there, you gotta have this as the starting package. This is a great looking bus. So the next bus comes from John. We're taking a look at a 2012 EF. Quick spec rundown of the bus. It's a 78 passenger with air door and air brakes. It's LED everything except for the front turn signals. It's got a Cummins 6.7 with gray seats and emergency exits on both sides. Now, according to John, this is a rare former South Carolina EF. Now, I'm not extremely familiar with South Carolina, so I'm not able to confirm if this is or not, but we can see that on the side there appears to have been lettering that was covered up, and definitely up front we can see that there is the shadow of vinyl where 280 is. I do know that because South Carolina buses are run through the state, that they have a 3-digit number, a dash, and then 4 numbers after that, and that number does not look like it was anywhere near long enough to be 7 digits and a dash. After doing a little bit of digging through John's Flickr, I was able to find this picture, which first off is an amazing picture, but this is apparently also a former South Carolina bus, and we can also see shadowing on this bus that says services, meaning that this has to be Durham School Services. We can also see there is a shadow of a number up front, so that would have had to have been a Durham ID, which explains why the number was shorter than what I was expecting it to be. I actually wasn't aware that South Carolina has contractors here and there. I thought it was completely state-run, but hey, you learn something every day. Here we have a picture from MS9. We can see a C2 lineup here. These are Michigan buses. We can tell that by the district name on the front. White roof, incandescent lights. We have warning light visors on the C2 in the back. Also behind the 3 C2s, we can see 2 more C2s and a CE with a white roof and middle wheelchair lift. Coming back to the C2s now, we can see that there are strobe lights on there. The one up front has a airfoil on it, and if you take a look on the right side beneath the bumper, we can see that there are LED lights down there that might be used as a parking light, or when the warning lights come on, or even the turn signal, just to make it a little bit safer. Up next, we have a picture that was submitted by Western PA School Transportation. We're taking a look at a 2023 T3FE. Again, this is a really, really sharp bus. Chrome rims. I love the tinted windows on there. Of course, would have loved to see the black window post, but hey, this is good enough. I'm also glad that we have a white roof on there. It appears that the turn signals are LED, and I hope that the Rest of the lights on the bus are as well. Warning light visors, strobe light, we have the number in the front and the back, which I think fits this pretty well. But otherwise, not much to say here. Like I said, this is just a really sharp bus. Now we've got this picture that was submitted by Aiden. We're taking a look at a 2021 Florida C2. And the notes say that this is an interesting bus because this is the only bus in the district so far to have a first light sign on it. In addition to the first light sign, we can also see that there are first light stop signs on there. Aside from that, pretty typical Florida specs: yellow rims, white roof, striped bumper. We have LEDs all around the bus. And last but not least, we are taking a look at a picture that was submitted by Time Lord of a Georgia lot. We can see that there are 6 T3Rs and 1 HDX. Really interesting specs on these buses. No warning light visors, and let me say, T3Rs, or T3s in general rather, do not look right without warning light visors. But if you take a look at the side of the HDX, we can see yet another black belt on this bus. That carries over to the T3 on the right as well. And if you take a look, you can see that there is yellow lettering on the black belt instead of white. So really the only time I see yellow lettering on a black belt is in the Georgia-Alabama region. And it's not very often that you see this, but it's really interesting the times that you do see it. And yeah, so there you have it. Those are all of the pictures that I wanted to show off. There were some really interesting ones in there, and I'm glad that this was not just all New York buses. Anyways, if you have a picture that you want to submit for these videos in the future, you can throw that in the video request form found in the description of any one of my videos, where you can also submit stuff for lots of lots, bus stuff for sale, or just any one of my videos. And with that, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical white button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it, I don't care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or every bus from here on out is going to have a black belt on it. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy on a random street. I don't care, don't let anything happen to you. So yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video, and thanks for watching.